What if your AI coding assistant got a little bit smarter every single day on its own while you sleep? Not because a new model dropped, because the system you built around it learns from every mistake it makes, writes that lesson down, and never repeats it. Most people use Claude Code like a goldfish, brilliant for one session, and then it forgets everything. And tomorrow, you re explain your entire project from scratch. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to flip that, how to turn Claude Code into a self improving system that compounds. I call it the R.E.P.S framework because just like reps in the gym, every single loop makes it stronger. Steal the whole thing. Let's build it. Here's the core idea, and it's the part almost everyone misses. A static prompt is a tool, a loop is a system. The difference between them is compounding. If Claude gets 1% better every day and actually remembers it, then in a year, it's not 1% better. It's 37 times better. That's a flywheel. And every flywheel needs 4 gears, which is exactly what REPS stands for. R. Record. Give Claude a memory it can write to itself. E. Evaluate. Let it grade its own work so it knows what good actually looks like. P. Propose. Have it study its own mistakes and suggest its own upgrades. And S. Sign off. You approve in seconds, and then it runs on a schedule without you. Record, evaluate, propose, sign off. 4 gears, one flywheel. Let's build them one at a time. Gear 1. Record. Most people think Claude's only memory is the Claude.md file, HUS, the file where you write your project's rules and conventions. That's half of it, and it's the half you control. But here's what changed, and almost nobody is using it. Claude Code now has auto memory. There's a second file, memory.md, that Claude writes to itself. When it discovers how your authentication works, or a bug that just bit it, or a convention you prefer, it saves that as a memory, and it loads automatically, every session after. So you've got 2 layers, Claude.md, the rules you hand down, and auto memory, the lessons Claude learns on its own. That second one is the seed of everything self-improving. From here, the whole game is feeding it well. But a memory is only as good as what flows into it. So let's feed it. And here's the best part. Auto memory fills itself going forward automatically. Every time you correct Claude, every convention it picks up, it banks the lesson on its own. You don't wire anything up. It's already on by default. To jumpstart it, give it your history. Claude Code saves every past session to your machine as a transcript file. And you can run /export to pull a clean copy of any conversation. Point Claude at them and say, read through my recent sessions and save anything worth remembering. In one pass, weeks of hard-won context get poured into the memory. From there, it keeps filling itself. You stop being the librarian. The system files its own lessons. Gear 2. Evaluate. Here's the trap almost everyone falls into. A system that changes itself, with no way to tell if it's actually getting better, is just a system that drifts. You need a scoreboard. That scoreboard is evals. And an eval is dead simple. It's a set of pass-fail checks for a task you care about. If Claude writes your commit messages, your eval is 5 example diffs, and the message a great engineer would write for each one. Now you have ground truth. Before any change, Claude runs the evals and scores itself. After the change, it runs them again. Number went up, keep it. Number went down, throw it away. And you can even automate that scoreboard with a hook. Claude Code can fire a command the moment it finishes a task, so the checks run themselves. This is the single step that separates a system that compounds from one that slowly rots. And it's the exact step the hype videos skip. Gear 3. Propose. This is where it actually starts improving itself. You build one skill, and a skill in Claude Code is just a saved instruction file you trigger by name. Call this one Improve System. When you run it, Claude does 3 things. It reads your recent session transcripts. It reads what's already in memory, and then it asks itself the single most important question in this whole video. Based on everything I just did, suggest ways we can improve this system. It hunts for the same mistake made twice, a rule that should be living in Claude.md, a new skill worth creating. It doesn't just fix the output, it upgrades the machine that makes the output. That's the difference between editing a document and training an apprentice. Gear 4, sign off. And this is the gear that keeps you safe. Full autonomy sounds amazing. Right up until your system quietly rewrites its own rules in a direction you hate. So we don't let it. Every change the system proposes gets sorted into 3 buckets. Bucket 1, auto approve, tiny, low risk fixes, applied automatically and logged so you never even have to look. Bucket 2, needs sign off. Anything that edits a rule or creates a new skill gets written to a review file with 3 checkboxes: approve, reject, or approve, and stop asking. Bucket 3, needs your call. The system isn't sure, so it just asks. You skim that review file in about 30 seconds, and over time, it learns what you always approve. So the asking keeps shrinking. You stay the boss, it does the work. Now you make it run without you. And here's a detail most tutorials get flat out wrong. So listen closely. Claude Code has routines, scheduled agents that run on a timer. A cloud routine runs on Anthropic's servers, even with your laptop shut. But it can't touch your local files. It clones a fresh copy of your repo each run. So if your knowledge base lives on your own machine, you make it a local routine instead. In the desktop app, that's routines, new routine, local, and it runs right on your computer with full access to your files. The one catch, a local routine only runs while the desktop app is open and your machine is awake. Pick the one that matches where your data actually lives. Then schedule 2 jobs. One that feeds new data into memory and one that runs improve system and drops that review file right in your lap. Twice a week, the flywheel turns on its own. And all you do is approve. Now step back and watch what you just built. Monday, Claude makes a mistake, and auto memory quietly records the lesson. Tuesday night, the schedule fires. Improve system reads that lesson, proposes a new rule, scores it against your evals, and the number goes up. You approve it in one click. And Wednesday, Claude does not make that mistake again, ever. That is the loop. Record, evaluate, propose, sign off, nay, and then around again and again. Every rep a little stronger. You're no longer just using an AI. You're training one. And this one remembers everything you teach it. 2 quick warnings before you go build this, because I've watched people get them wrong. 1. Do not try to automate everything on day 1. Start with just the memory. Let auto memory run and feed it your past sessions. And live with that for a week before you add the evals and the schedule. A simple system you actually run beats a perfect one you abandon. 2. You are the leader here, not the system. If a skill isn't making you faster, delete it. The goal was never the most clever setup. It was you getting more done. So the best move you can make today is the small one. Open Claude Code, let it start remembering, and point it at your last few sessions. So that's the R.E.P.S framework. Record, evaluate, propose, sign off. The whole system that turns Claude Code into something that gets smarter every week instead of forgetting you every morning. If this gave you a genuinely new way to think about AI, subscribe. I go deep on Claude and building systems like this every single week, and it's completely free. I packaged this entire build into a 1-page blueprint. Every prompt, the memory setup, the improve system skill, the eval checklist, and the routine schedule, all copy-paste ready. Comment the word evolve on this video and I'll send it straight to you, or grab it at the link below. And if you're just getting started, I've got beginner guides that take you from zero to genuinely dangerous with Claude Code Every link is in the description. Do your first rep today. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, and follow the page on Facebook. I'm Hyperautomation Labs, and I'll see you in the next one.